What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that hot topic analysis on Analysis Playground live on YouTube exclusively on there. And I'm sorry for the interruption, but I got to restart the video. So hopefully you guys are going to be happy with these moves that your team made for whatever the reason is. And then you got me to break down why the move was made and why it makes sense for your team and for the NBA. Luke Kennard, the hottest topic right now, he ended up getting traded to the Lakers from the Atlanta Hawks for Gabe Vincent and a second round pick. Obviously, he's a taller, bigger guard that can shoot, handle the ball, make a three, make a mid range. He's a good passer for his size and for his position. Gabe Vincent been a little banged up. He's been a little injured the last couple years. Luke Kennard is a flyer because he's on a 1 year deal. So if it doesn't work out, you can let him go. If it do work out, you can always extend them and figure that out in the off season. When they traded for Trey Young, the Hawks did. They got Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum. So they got ball handlers and scorers and shooters already on their roster, and they're loaded with them. And now they look at Luke Kennard as expendable because of that reason, which does make sense. But the Lakers also had to get rid of a second round pick to make this happen because it was an upgrade over Gabe Vincent. And the Hawks said, if we're going to give you Luke Kennard, we need something a little bit more deserving besides Gabe Vincent if we're going to make this deal happen. And the second round pick was enough to get it done. And I like it. I like it. 49% from three. I don't know if he can keep that up, but he is going to be a good 3-point shooter playing out there for the Lakers. Clearly, you have to look at it and say, with Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Luka out there, you want as many shooters and playmakers as you can have out there on the basketball court to make the team that they're going against work, for guarding those players. And Luke Kennard can hurt if you don't pay attention on him and you don't focus on him. He can hurt you with his jump shooting and his ability to handle the ball and make a pass if he gets ran off the 3-point line. And he can also hit a mid-range and sometimes even get to the basket. And he can be a decent transition player too. But when you're playing with guys that good at playmaking and ball handling, you do want to put them in positions to where they can always hurt with the pass or the basket. And that's something that they will get with Luke Kennard. And Gabe Vincent, he's still a quality player. Let's not act like he sucks or he's trash or he's not that good. He is still a decent player too when healthy, and when he's out there, he can hit a shot from the perimeter mainly and get to the basket from time to time. Not that consistent at that, but it is something that he can do. Other than that, that's it for the Luke Kennard trade for the Lakers and the Hawks. The next trade we're going to talk about is the Minnesota Timberwolves getting Dosunmu from the Bulls for Rob Dillingham and 4 second-rounders. That's a really good amount of picks for a role player like Dosunmu. But let's not get it twisted. He is averaging 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's very young in his career right now. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's a solid defender too. So you knew that it wasn't going to be easy to get a player of his caliber, especially the fact that he's 26 years old and 6'4", 200 pounds. And on top of that, he can get out in transition because he get a good amount of steals. And he's also fast enough to cut to the basket and move around the court. He is shooting 51% from the field this season. He's shooting 50% from the field for his career and 37% from three for his career. And he's also a guy that can make a free throw if he gets there. And if that's needed, he can get that done too. He's also getting 3 rebounds and 3 assists. So he's showing that he can do multiple things as a team player. And he's having a career year. The Bulls needed him more because of the injuries that they sustained throughout the regular season to their guards. He stepped up and helped them have an almost playoff record, which We'll see if they're able to make it because they in the play-in tournament right now. And that's probably where they're going to be by the end of the season based off how they've been playing and based off how their record is. And the fact that they got rid of Kobe White and now they're getting rid of Dosunmu is going to take some chemistry issues and some problems like that might happen for the Bulls, obviously. And then the Timberwolves were just looking for a guard. They couldn't really get one. Now they actually got a two-way guard, and they had to give up a small amount to get them because people are going to look at it like, what you really going to get with the second round? You get a guaranteed NBA player that's still youthful and still, has room to grow and improve. And he gives you exactly what you've been looking for as a scorer and as a defender and as a guy that can also keep the ball moving and also play a little defense. So they get the best of both worlds with Dosunmu. It was good that they waited to see what they can really get by the end of the deadline. And it ended up being a good gift and a good thing because patience is a virtue. And this will be a really good pickup for them if Dosunmu can stay healthy and build some chemistry with the Timberwolves. And then you look at the Bulls, they just getting a flyer on Rob Dillingham. He hasn't really done much. He hasn't really proved much in the NBA. Not the greatest scorer, not the greatest passer as a point guard. He's small, he's tiny. On top of that, so he's going to be a guy that's going to give up baskets too, but he still has potential. He still has upside. We'll see if the Bulls keep him, but you really don't care if he's going to turn out good or bad at this point because you still got 4 second rounders and you have a better chance of getting a player better than Dillingham with those second rounders anyway. And if you do like Dillingham, he ain't going to cost you much because of his numbers and his performance. So you can always sign him and try to move him for another second rounder or something like that in the future if he plays better or he's just intrigued or interest from another team. You can just capitalize off that too. But just remember, Ao Dosunmu is a restricted free agent, so they're going to have to pay him. They're going to have to find a way to reach a good number. Obviously, if they're trading for him, a number is already being discussed, and he does fit with Anthony Edwards. They got rid of Mike Conley Jr. the other day, and they still have DiVincenzo and guys like that on the roster, Bones Highland. So it's good to have another guy that can help them out if an injury happens or somebody needs rest or somebody, goes out for a long period of time. He can step in and give them a lot of what they'd be missing anyway. And on top of that, another trade ended up happening. We can talk about the Tyus Jones trade. The Charlotte Hornets have agreed to acquire Tyus Jones from the Orlando Magic. Jones has been trade candidate for the Magic to get out of the luxury tax. So this is more of a business move than a talent move. But Tyus Jones didn't really play that great for them anyway. He's only giving them 3 points, 2 assists in 15 minutes, but he is shooting 37% from three. But he is shooting 29% from this season. So he hasn't really been that great scoring the basketball for the Magic anyway. They look at him as a player that ain't giving them much, ain't doing much for them. So it makes sense for them to move off of him if you can get out of the luxury tax because he's not changing much. He's not giving you much anyway. And the Hornets trying to recoup on the loss of the second rounders that they ended up sending out earlier for Kobe White. It does make sense for them to try to do that. It is a smart thing to do. But it looks like Charlotte trying to go all in on being a playoff team this year. Obviously, they got to continue to win to be able to be a play-in team. And if they're a play-in team, obviously they got to win in the play-in to be a playoff team. But they looked at this as a good opportunity to put as much talent and as much pieces around LaMelo, Miles Bridges, obviously Brandon Miller, and Colin Knipple. They look at that as a core that can do some serious damage to a lot of teams and they've been showing that because they're on a 7-game win streak at the point of this video, and it just shows that the Charlotte Hornets are going in the right direction, and their fans should be happy, and their fans should be proud of them for how they've been competing and how they've been playing these last couple weeks. Other than that, Mac McClung, he ended up signing a deal. It seems like he's always doing something. He got a 2-way contract with the Chicago Bulls. That after trading Emmanuel Miller to the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Chicago Bull had an open spot to be able to sign Mac McClung. He has played for the Windy City Bulls of the G League this season. In 24 games, Mac McClung averaged 25 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. And he also getting 1.3 steals per game. That's really good play from him. He deserves to be able to play in the NBA. It seems like he's always fighting, scratching, and clawing, and scrapping for a spot in the NBA basically every single season. And it's working, because he continues to get roster spots. It's just he doesn't get too much playing time and too much opportunities when he does, and he doesn't really make that much money either because 2-way contracts don't really pay you that much. But he is in his final season of his 2-way contract eligibility, and he has previously called up with the Indiana Pacers this season, and now he is a guy that previously played for the Lakers, the Sixers, and the Orlando Magic in his career. But he didn't give up. He didn't quit. He kept playing and kept trying things, and he's back on the NBA roster for now. Another trade that happened earlier this morning, the Knicks trade Yabusele to the Chicago Bulls for Dalen Terry. Yabusele is having a really, really bad season for the Knicks, and he's playing more on the perimeter. He's better when he's attacking the basket. He's better when he can be physical. The Knicks have him just being a spot up 3-point shooter. He couldn't really fit in that role. He couldn't really play that well. He's only giving you 2 points and 2 rebounds in 8 minutes, which isn't a lot anyway. But he's still showing you that he can still put the ball in the basket and help in other ways. And then Dalen Terry is averaging 3 points in 1.9 minutes for the Bulls before this trade. The Bulls plan to keep Yabusele and not waive him based off what we hear and what we know right now. But Dalen Terry is a solid player, and so is Yabusele. Good swap for both teams. The Bulls need more size and more strength. And obviously the Knicks want more perimeter play on a cheap contract. And when you look at everything that's really been going on this free agency and this trade deadline to this point, it's been a lot of guards and a lot of forwards being moved basically every single day. And it just shows you how abundant it is that the league has so many of them that they're all interchangeable. Like they're trading Dosunmu, they're trading Luke Kennard to basically have another player that does the exact same thing on their roster. And it just shows you how the NBA is a copycat league, and teams are trying to find their identity. They're trying to find what they feel that they're missing, and that's the purpose of the buyouts. That's the purpose of free agency, to try to bolster your team as much as you can before the playoffs start, or try to empty and get rid of your players to be able to get under the aprons and the luxury tax. And then on top of that, try to tank, which is not really something the NBA wants you to do, but they do want you to tank a little bit. The teams do, so that way they can show their fans that this is the best way for us to be able to win, is getting a first round pick or a lottery pick on top of that, to try to change our fortunes that way. Obviously, legends have been found in the second round, so that's why you're seeing a lot of teams saying you can have that player because we know what they do for us, we know how they play for us, so we're just going to go ahead and get the best deal we can get, even if it's just for a pick that we don't know that's going to pan out, and it's just because they're low or they see another team higher on the player than they are, so they try to look at it like we need to go ahead and make this deal now before it's off the table. So we've seen a lot of veterans get moved for that reason. We're seeing a lot of guys, not have any stability in their career because teams look at them as the weakest link. And if you're that way or you're that type of player, you become a journeyman very quickly in the NBA, especially in the modern era where everybody looks like the same type of player in some instances. And that's something that we are seeing a lot more of when it does come to how the NBA is being built and how teams are being built in the modern era, which is these last couple years in the 2020s and the late 2010s. Other than that, you comment, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell to get the analysis when it first come out. Y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today, hopefully with more trades and instant analysis. And I got some breakdowns coming out at the All-Star weekend since we're going to have a little bit of a break from games. I'm just going to turn in some videos that I have that I'm working on and I'll have ideas on to give y'all something to watch that's different than just instant analysis over and over again, trades over and over again. And of course, I have that rookie analysis and that rundown coming out in March. So it's going to give y'all something different that way too. So trying to mix it up and give y'all as much content as I can as a creator. I love making content for people that love watching it and love it, coming to see it and looking forward to it. So that's what subscribers are. That's what fans are. So I'm just letting y'all know what's coming in the future to get y'all excited and get y'all looking forward to some more basketball and NBA content. Other than that, love y'all. Going for now.